over the last 10 years or so, it seems like everybody has just forgotten what the word racism actually means. It seems like every single day there's just someone completely misusing the word, just completely wrong. And it's not even just like unintelligent people. There are very smart, educated kids and adults in my school or wherever that are using the definition of racism completely wrong. The first thing I want to do is just go ahead here and read you guys the official definition for racism, okay? The definition of racism is prejudice or discrimination directed against someone of a different race based on such a belief. Most of you are saying, well, Ted, I already knew that. Like, I already knew it meant, discriminating against people. Well, then why, day after day, do I see, or I'm in a group of friends, walking to a spot, and someone says, "Oh, look at that black guy over there," and then some idiot on the other side of the group shouts, "Racist!" Like, no, that is not racism. Calling a person Mexican, it's not racism to do that, people. Okay? It's a characteristic. It's the color. Like, let's use a black person for example, because I'm comfortable that I know that I'm not offending these people because it's not racism. Okay? The color of their skin is black. Does this mean that they should be treated unequally in any way or discriminated against? No. If they were, that would be racism, and that would be terrible. But when you use the color of their skin to say, well, which person out of the group, oh, it is the black person or the black person on the right, you're just identifying them by, like, that is what their skin color is. You can't just pretend that everybody looks the same. People look different. It's life. It's true. But it's not racism to be able to say, he looks different than him, the Mexican looks different than the Asian, and the Indian looks different than the whatever. You guys get my point. That's not racism. Racism is like segregation, for example. Segregation was racism. You were not letting people do certain things because of their skin color or their race or how they came up or were originated, etc. Saying, that person is black or that person, like anything like that. I know I keep using that example over. There's tons of examples you see. Someone will say, like, I've even seen things as stupid as, like, someone's like, oh, that table's black. Racist. What? What? You can't say the word black. Honestly, that's more racist for that person to be calling you a racist because he's affiliating a black table with a black person. It just doesn't make any sense. Yet you see this day after day in school from intelligent kids, like I said, from smart kids. The definition of racism has been butchered so hard in modern day society that nobody knows what the hell it means anymore. You literally have to remind yourself by looking up the definition and saying, gee, when I'm calling someone black, am I discriminating against them in some way? Am I, not letting them sit at a lunch table or ride on a bus? Because no, you're identifying the color of their skin. Just like you look at me and you say, Ted has brown hair. It's like, okay, yes, I have brown hair. Or Ted has a big nose. Okay, like I have a big nose. Let's just say that. Or Ted's wearing a gray shirt. Or Ted's skin color is very, 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 very white because he can't tan. It's not racism. Like, if I was saying, all right, everybody, like, with brown hair like Ted can't go and do this. Well, I don't know if that would even be racism, but And another thing, like people think, well, when you say, let's just use the standard, blondes are dumb, or Asians are really smart, or black people like fried chicken. Those are a few. Is this racist? Most of you are probably saying yes, but if you look at the definition, this is not racist. This is what we call stereotyping. And stereotyping and racism are on two different spectrums. Stereotyping does not affect treating someone equally. It simply takes everybody from a certain group and kind of says, well, they all do this or they're all like this. Yes, stereotyping is wrong. It's not true, and it's just kind of like a waste of speech. Is it racism? No, it's not racism. You're not discriminating against anybody when you're stereotyping. The sad part is, in modern day society, there actually is a lot of racism, but it's not the kind that you think I'm going to be talking about. Go to Google and type in affirmative action and read up on it a little bit. Basically what affirmative action is when colleges say, well, we have a lot of white people and the government is getting pretty pissed off because we need to get some minorities in there. And basically the college says, all right, well, we need Asians, or we need African Americans, or we need Mexicans. So if a white person submits an application to this college, and an Asian person submits an application to this college, and let's say the white person, and there's been many cases of this, the white person gets an 1800 on their SATs and the Asian gets a 1700. The white person has a GPA of a 4.0 and the Asian has a GPA of a 3.5. That college, because of quotas, is going to pick the Asian person over the white person, even though the white person was more qualified in every single way to get into that college. Wow. Let's look at our definition of racism again. Prejudice or discrimination directed against someone of a different race based on such a belief. If you look at this, basically the only race that's not considered a minority is the white people. So the white people are getting a clear disadvantage to get into that college because of their race. Wow. So saying that black people like fried chicken isn't racist. Calling someone Asian isn't racist. So where's the racism at? I don't understand. I really don't. I don't see the, unless you have blatantly like obvious on the, you know, on the trolls or random idiots like, oh, I hate everybody from this race and they all should die. Of course, okay, that's racism, but they're just doing it because they're on the internet. So, I don't know, maybe there is a little bit of racism from trolls and stuff on the internet, but I just don't, like, in society, I just don't see racism anymore. I don't see it. I go out and if I see an Asian person, they're being they're being treated completely equal to everybody else in the surrounding area. If I see a black person, they're being treated completely equal to everybody in the surrounding area. Another thing that I think is really dumb, apparently they have politically correct terms for what you're supposed to call certain groups of people. Because if you call them what they actually are, they'll get offended. So, you know, a lot of us say black people. It used to be African Americans, but now the politically correct term for black people is people of color, which doesn't even make much sense to me. But apparently you are evil or something if you call someone black if they have a darker skin color. Anyway, back to affirmative action. So basically, the only racism I'm seeing is the affirmative action. This program it's been around for a few years now. I think it's gonna be one of those things like slavery. My dog's scratching his nose. It's gonna be one of those things like slavery and segregation, and like it's gonna be one of those things where we look back and say, we really messed up. Let's not do that again. Because as far as I can see, the random people calling people racists of today is BS, and the affirmative action is a pretty clear case of racism. So that's about it for my video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I don't think it's going to be a very popular video because a lot of the opinions that I discuss in here are very controversial. Feel free to come out and tell me that you disagree with me in the comments. I mean, I'm up for a discussion, and I'd like to hear your points of view because I'd be happy to, you know, answer whatever arguments you have, and hopefully maybe you can prove me wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. This is just all my opinion, okay? There's no facts here. So basically, yeah. I'm in need of an intro. If you can tell, mine kind of really sucks right now. So if you could like hook me up with an intro, just let me know, and that'd be awesome. But yeah, make sure you guys subscribe, and I will see you later. Peace.